So a while back, the awesome folks over at Anarchy Outdoors reached out to me and let me know that, while indeed Bergara here was the fairest rimfire in all of the land, they thought they could, snazz it up a little bit and make it even better. And what do you know, they hooked a guy up with some pretty cool goodies for this. So I really appreciate all those awesome folks over at Anarchy. They make some cool stuff. So I just thought I'd show you what I got, slap it on here, and share some initial thoughts with you. Now, this might get a little technical, so if you feel like you're in over your head with the whole gunsmithing stuff, I'll try to keep it simple. That's a joke. There's nothing hard about this. You guys can do it. So what we've got here today is grip. This one's called the Emperor. And if you go to the good old Anarchy webpage, you'll see they have a couple of them that look kind of like this. There's the Penguin, there's the Emperor, which is this one, and the Tuxedo. And the Penguin looks just like this, a little bit smaller. The Tuxedo is actually filled in. And I don't know a lot about penguins, but I know that kind of looks like a penguin. So that's pretty cool. We're going to swap that on here for take off the old factory MPA grip and put on the Emperor here. We've got us a throw lever for the Gen 2 Cronus, which fantastic scope, love everything about it. Magnification knob's a little stiff, so that's going to hopefully solve that problem. And then we've got an extended magazine release for the MPA chassis. That's going to go right on down here, and we're going to give our big old fat fingers a little better chance of hitting that when we need to do some speed reloads. So we're going to toss all this stuff on here. So just like any project, when you're messing around with your gun here, let's double, triple check that we're unloaded. I know we already are, but let's make sure. Drop our mag block out there, and we're good. In fact, we're just going to go ahead and take this bolt right out of here. We're going to set it right there, because we're going to talk about that in just a second too. So I understand not all y'all have a extensive set of tools, and luckily you don't really need it for this, but there are a couple of things you're going to need. Let's get organized and lay our goodies out here. So first thing you're going to need is a small hammer of some sort, a wrench, and we can't get any gunsmithing done without our Dremel. So essential gunsmithing tools right there. That's all we're going to need. Obviously I'm messing with you, and that's my lame attempt at humor, but I know some of you guys have this stuff in your garage and you're really itching to get it out when you're wrenching on your rifles, but don't do that. They got their places, but not here. So let's get rid of this stuff. Alright, actually what you are going to need, if you've got this set up here, 3/16 hex driver of some sort. That's for the grip. That should be the standard size for any of the AR-15 style grips, and the hex or the socket cap screws in there. You're going to need a 7/64 driver of some sort, and we are going to get a little bit farmerish here, and we're going to bust out the vice grips, or some pliers of some sort, and put your soft jaws on there. Keep it from getting too much worse. And actually we're only going to need those just to squeeze this grip release on there a little bit. If you are going to swap out your handle and your knob from the factory one, which I have right here, factory and Anarchy, you probably are going to need some vice grips with some tape on the jaws. Old Bergara folks, they did a good job of getting this Loctited on here, and it's not likely going to come off without a little persuading. In fact, on mine I had to put some PB blaster and stuff in there and let it set overnight, and then I was able to wrench on it with the vice grips a little bit and get it out of there, but they're stuck on there pretty good. If you're wanting to just replace the knob on your factory Bergara handle, these are a M6 or 6mm thread, the factory knob and handle. If you go to the Bergara handle and knob, these are going to be threaded the 5/16, and that's kind of standard for a lot of knobs. So just be aware, you can't go buy a 5/16 knob and slap it on your Bergara factory handle. You're going to need to swap it over if you can do it. There are some M6 ones out there, so you'll find something. Alright, so let's tackle the hard one first here. And by hard, I mean I got to turn the rifle upside down. That's about all there is to it. We're going to do this. Get our big hex driver in the back of the factory MPA grip. There's a hole. Come down in, grab that socket head screw. And we're just going to take that right out of there. And I'm going to be embarrassed in just a minute when I pull this grip off and 2 years worth of mud and bugs and sticks and stuff fall out of here, because I ain't never had this off of here. Huh. Actually ain't even that bad. So, factory MPA grip, take that right out of there. And we do have a new screw. I'll set this down before I tip it over. I suspect that it's actually just a little longer than the factory. I was thinking it'd probably be the same. Let's try the long one first here and see what happens. And that's going to be the same process, except here we got a little cutout. It's a lot easier to get this screw in here. It's kind of a trick if you're trying to get the screw back into this one. So, yeah, that looks about right. We're going to set that on there. It just slips right in perfectly. And I suspect we could have got by just fine with the factory MPA screw, because this one's got a lot of thread engagement. But they sent it, so we're going to use it. Alright. Initial impressions, it looks pretty darn cool. The factory grip is molded so that your thumb rest here matches up perfectly with this cutout in the side of the chassis. This, you can still put your thumb in there. The thumb rest is down inset a little bit there. Yeah, we'll see how we like it, but it looks pretty killer. I'm also hoping that, I know this weighs a little bit less than the factory MPA grip. Hoping that, you know, moves my balance point, you know, forward a little bit, taking some weight out of here. So let's move it forward a little bit. That'd help out. That'd be awesome. Alright, next thing we're going to do is install our extended magazine catch here. Not a catch. It's the, whatever you want to call it. EMR, extended magazine release. That's what we want to call it. This is the catch. And this is kind of cool. There are two little half sphere, not even half sphere, just little circular dimples in here that match up with the holes in the mag release here. And I suspect we will be able to just squeeze that right on there with our taped up squeezers. One side down, other side down. You probably didn't hear it, but I definitely could feel it click right onto there. I'll be certainly interested to see how well that stays put without any screws through there. But it's on there pretty solid. So excited about that. That's kind of cool. All right, and the last one. We're going to throw a throw lever on here. And again, this is pretty complicated, so y'all try to stay with me here. We're going to loosen up this screw here. Whoops, let's get the right side. Loosen up this screw. And I'm going to bet that it dropped right out of there. There's actually a threaded insert on this side, so you're not threading into the plastic. I didn't even need to take that out all the way. And we're going to come over latch it right on there, or screw back in. And bingo bango, we have us a throw lever. Ooh, I can already tell that helps a lot. That's pretty handy. I also enjoy the fact that the way this is constructed with the notch that hits this nub here on the magnification ring, when it's straight up, it's at 15 power, clocked over just a little bit, is between 10 and 15, which is where I normally shoot at. And we're going to check. Yep, we have plenty of clearance there. There's really, even all the way over at 29 power, I still have plenty of room to get my hand around that lever. So don't ever see that being in the way. That's pretty cool. All right, hopefully y'all made it through that all right. All right, so obviously that was a completely unnecessary tutorial on how to, install a couple of screws and squeeze on a magazine release extension. You guys can figure that out. None of that was necessary, but sometimes at the end of the day, I'm pretty tired of being serious, and this is my outlet. So thanks for sticking with me. This whole video is really just an introduction to the fact that I'm going to be running this awesome stuff on my rifle for, foreseeable future. And I can't really give you any impressions or feedback on anything except for the bolt knob and the handle right now, because I just put it on. So in a couple of months, maybe the end of the year, Christmas time, somewhere in there, I'll have another video where I let you know how it's been working out. So far, everything's built pretty well. I managed to put it on, so you guys can figure it out too. Nothing complicated about it. Big thing is though, my interactions with Anarchy Outdoor customer service and the people there has been nothing but positive. I've had great experiences with them, and if you guys reach out to them about anything, you will too. So I appreciate those guys helping the shooting sports. They got a lot of neat stuff. They're great folks. So stay tuned. We're going to be running some AO gear, and I'm sure we're going to love it. Thanks for watching. Get some kids out shooting. Stay safe. Get your practice in. Grow the sport. Thanks for watching. So far, I hate all that.